Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being here today with us for Biodiesel Magazine's 2015 Editorial Outlook webinar, sponsored by the Biodiesel Industry Directory. My name is Ron Kotrba. I'm the editor of Biodiesel Magazine. Joining me today is our marketing director, John Nelson. On our program, we intend to move quickly through our agenda, keeping in mind that your time is valuable. In a moment, John will run through who reads Biodiesel Magazine by breaking down our audience, providing an overview of our bi-monthly circulation, biodieselmagazine.com's website stats, demographics, social networking, and our increasingly popular webinar series. Following that, I will provide some commentary on our mainstay editorial sections, and then we're going to move into our bi-monthly editorial themes and bonus distribution for our 2015 print editions. Finally, at the end of our broadcast, for those of you who remain on the line, we will have an exclusive advertising discount for attendees of this webinar. For those of you who aren't aware, Biodiesel Magazine has been in publication for more than a decade now, and we are exclusively and passionately dedicated to covering this industry's growth, news, business dealings, and important issues like policy, technology, feedstock, fuel quality, distribution, trade, and everything in between. Personally, as someone who has been engaged in biodiesel for 10 years now, I think it's safe to say this industry has had more than its fair share of ups and downs. For instance, in the U.S., 2013 was, by all accounts, a phenomenal year for biodiesel. But at the end of last year, the lapse of the federal tax credit and EPA's backpedaling in its proposed RFS rule have created an environment of uncertainty in 2014 once again. Experts suggest, however, that the final RFS rule may be more favorable for biodiesel than the proposal indicated, and that's in large part thanks to the biodiesel industry's leadership and lobbying efforts. In addition, there is strong hope that a tax extenders package may still go through Congress by the end of the year to retroactively reinstate the $1 per gallon tax credit. And just as we've seen before, when this happens, biodiesel producers take their earnings and invest in equipment and services to expand production, increase their yields and efficiencies, and improve fuel quality. Having said all of that, we here at Biodiesel Magazine are optimistic that 2015 will be a good year for biodiesel. And at this time, I would like to introduce our marketing director, John Nelson. John?
Thank you, Ron. I appreciate everyone being on today's webinar. As a marketing, sales, or business professional, it's important for you to connect with the right audience. And if you're looking to expand your brand and increase sales in the biodiesel industry, or even explore the idea of entering the biodiesel industry, Biodiesel Magazine is the industry's most recognizable publication and offers you the best opportunity to gain mass exposure by reaching producers, policymakers, and other professionals focused on the biodiesel industry. Now, Biodiesel Magazine is mailed to 5,000 biodiesel professionals every 2 months. And we know from a recent survey, our readers, a recent survey we did with our readers, that our industry magazines have a readership rate of roughly 1.5 or higher per issue. So when we use those numbers, each issue of Biodiesel Magazine is read at a minimum of 7,500 times by people looking to buy products and learn about the latest technologies and policies. So, and what's even more impressive is that we send copies of our magazine to all current or future producers of biodiesel. And in addition to the producers who receive a copy of the magazine, we mail Biodiesel Magazine to every attendee of the National Biodiesel Conference, as well as a number of important industry events that Ron will cover here in a few moments. As you can see on the slide in front of you, with readers in 41 countries, the largest category of our readership base consists of producers representing 21% of our circulation. The graph also shows the next types of companies who are subscribers. They are equipment and service providers, consultants, engineers, technology providers, academics, officials in the government and military, and so on. By purchasing advertising in Biodiesel Magazine, you can be assured that you are reaching the right people in the biodiesel industry. And on this slide, you can see Biodiesel Magazine's web presence is fairly large, and it continues to grow through the use of our ongoing original stories that Ron and his team post, to the website, our search engine optimization strategies, new content from maps, blogs, and the Biodiesel Industry Directory, which is today's sponsor. We have increased our traffic to the numbers you see before you on this slide. And I want to note that these numbers are based on Google Analytics from July 2013 to July 2014. And if you want even more specifics on the web traffic, please contact Chip or Howard, our senior account managers, and they'll be more than happy to provide you with some additional information. And we are now seeing a whopping 59,178 page views or impressions per month on biodieselmagazine.com and 30,822 visits per month. So what does that mean to you as an advertiser? It hopefully means that when you purchase online advertising on biodieselmagazine.com, more people will view your ad because impressions to our website have increased. The goal is to generate clicks to your website, have you gain more business, and increase sales. We have visitors on our website from around the globe, as this graphic shows, and 32% of the visitors to our site are from outside the U.S. Clearly, our top visitors are from the United States, with Canada, India, UK, and Malaysia following. If you're looking to reach both the U.S. biodiesel audience and the global biodiesel audience, biodieselmagazine.com and online advertising is a great option for you. So we're looking at our social network, and you're probably wondering, why do I care about your social network as an advertiser? Well, as an advertiser, we want to make sure you're aware that we have an extensive network both on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. For example, we have nearly 3,500 Twitter followers and nearly 2,000 likes on Facebook. So every story that's being posted, every piece of original content that Ron and his team are writing are being posted to our social network sites. From there, they're being retweeted. If we mention someone, a company in a story, they're going to retweet it to their networks and so on. And so it grows, and when people click on that link, they come back to our website. They come back to biodieselmagazine.com. And when they come back, that means we have increased our impressions, we've increased our traffic, and hopefully, as a result, people are seeing your advertisement. So if you purchase online advertisement, you'll have more eyeballs looking at your ad and hopefully clicking it and going to your website. So we want to make sure you are aware that we take a lot of time to push our content out to our social media networks. So here we're going to talk about Biodiesel Magazine's webinar series. And sponsorships for Biodiesel Magazine's webinar series are a new advertising option for companies this year that are looking to engage a specific audience for 90 minutes at a time. Attendance for these webinars has been strong because these events are content-driven and provide valuable information to the attendees from our industry expert panelists. As a sponsor, you'll have your logo with URL listed on all of the emails that are sent out promoting the webinar, roughly 150,000 per webinar, the Biodiesel Magazine website registration page, online advertisements, the weekly e-newsletter ads, and our on-demand webinar section of Biodiesel Magazine. Since the launch of Biodiesel Magazine's webinar series, we have had nearly 2,000 biodiesel professionals register and have averaged 366 people per webinar. Without a doubt, because we've done so many of these, we are confident that this is one of the best ways you as an advertiser can identify companies and people interested in a specific topic within the biodiesel industry. And most importantly, in addition to all the promotional benefits I listed, as the main sponsor for our webinars, we physically give you the contact information of all the attendees and registrants of the webinar, email included. And you can see a list on this picture at the bottom. You can see there's an Excel spreadsheet with the names of people. That's, as a sponsor, we will put together a list. It'll be formatted, and we'll deliver that to you in your inbox. So it's a great way as an advertiser to identify people looking at a specific topic in biodiesel. And if you want more interest, or if you have more interest in that and you want more information on our webinars, again, please contact Howard or Chip at our office. They'd be more than happy to help. And Ron, do you have any more thoughts on our webinars and the content you and your team have assembled?
Yeah, John, I'd just like to mention that our most recent Biodiesel Magazine webinar, it was titled Biodiesel Technology, Enhancing Profit Through New Processing Techniques. It was highly successful, and from my perspective, definitely the most popular webinar we've done to date. In that webinar, we covered new technologies like Meth-S Energy's new pretreatment technology, Novozyme's enzymatic production, and new techniques to enhance conventional technologies such as atomization of methanol to increase surface area for better reactions, and using biodiesel itself as a co-solvent to do that same very same thing. To be honest with you, never have I seen more interest during and following a webinar from attendees and from those who couldn't attend. Those who couldn't attend were able to register after the fact, and they were able to view the content because we record those webinars and we put them on our website. And Meth-S Energy's sponsored that event, and they were so pleased with it that they issued a press release after the event was done, and it was titled Meth-S Energies Attracts Large Response to Recent Successful Webinar. And in that press release, the company stated, Meth-S is very pleased with the number of attendants, but more importantly, with the several dozens of requests for additional information it received following the webinar. Calls have been coming in from all over the world, including from a number of billion-dollar companies that are interested in its catalyst and related technology. So, John, I think this absolutely proves the power of these webinars and the powerful influence these types of events and sponsorships can have. Next, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to move on to a briefing of our Inside Biodiesel Magazine, and then I'll briefly go over our editorial themes for 2015. Every print issue, we have an editorial theme that is important to the industry, which we'll be going over in a moment, and we work passionately to provide our readers in-depth feature articles, contribution articles from those in the industry, legal and talking point columns, all of which we make a concerted effort to match our editorial theme and our bonus distribution audience. What we're looking at here on this page, in this particular slide, is the contents page from our July-August issue themed around biodiesel distribution. For the distribution article, you see on the top left, page 20, U.S. Biodiesel Supply Kings. We ended up talking with companies like Sprague, Amerigreen Energy, and Targray, and we leveraged their perspective. Can we go back a slide? One more. Yep, there we go. We leverage their perspective on challenges and opportunities in the distribution sector. You'll see where it says page 26, a biodiesel family affair. You might ask yourself, well, this is a profile feature. What does it have to do with distribution? It may not seem like it fits our theme, but this is a story about a small producer in South Carolina, Midlands Biofuels, and they were featured because this issue was distributed at the Collective Biodiesel Conference in August. And Collective Biodiesel Conference is a conference dedicated for small producers. And in that article, Midlands Biofuels did discuss distribution, some of the challenges associated with biodiesel distribution from a small-scale perspective. So it was certainly relevant, and got a lot of great feedback on that story. Our contribution article, you can see, is infrastructure. It was came from Houston-based Akash Energy and its subsidiary Root Fuel. and it focused on developing a grassroots biodiesel retail network. And also every issue we have a legal perspective column, and we have a talking point column. While the legal perspective column in this issue didn't hit our theme of distribution, it did hit an important topic that I alluded to earlier, and that's the tax extenders package. And as you see, our talking point column here was from Paul Nazzaro, and that hit the distribution theme and covered storage tank maintenance. In addition to feature articles, contribution articles, columns every month, we also feature a 4-page section from the U.S. Industries Trade Organization, the National Biodiesel Board, and we also include our front-end news section, business briefs and commentary and perspective in my editor's note. In this particular column, I discussed not only the challenges of biodiesel distribution, but also the challenges of getting people to talk about issues in biodiesel distribution. So it was kind of interesting. Finally, in our every issue, we include a calendar of events and a marketplace where advertisers can use low-cost options to advertise their products and services. At this time, I'd like to move into our editorial themes for 2015. Next slide, please. There we go. The January-February issue we cover our process technology and biodiesel plant optimization. These are obviously very hot topics in the biodiesel world, and this issue is highly popular not only due to its theme, but also its bonus distribution. The issue is placed in conference bags of those who register at the National Biodiesel Conference, where clearly a significant amount of biodiesel business takes place every year by the approximately 1,500 biodiesel dedicated attendees. All of these registrants at the National Biodiesel Conference will get their hands on a copy of our January-February issue, and the issue, in addition to that, the issue will also be distributed at the Commodity Classic, whose attendance is an impressive 4,800 registrants. For our March-April issue, we cover biodiesel purification and co-product utilization, given the ever-evolving biodiesel standards and tighter specifications, and not only that, but the growing need to maximize revenue through co-product development. This dual-themed topic is highly relevant to the biodiesel industry, not to mention that the print copy is also mailed to all 1,500 attendees of the National Biodiesel Conference. Our May-June issue covers the ever-important topic of biodiesel feedstocks. Feedstock, as many of you know, is often mentioned as a limiting factor in biodiesel growth. But interestingly, in our latest feedstock issue that we published in May-June of 2014, the cover of which you're looking at right now, we tried to dispel that by showing that feedstock markets have always kept up with demand. On the bottom, you'll note bonus distribution for this issue includes the Fuel Ethanol Workshop and Expo, where approximately 2,000 ethanol industry experts gather to do business. And you may ask, why is this important for biodiesel? Well, more and more ethanol producers are interested in converting their distillers' corn oil to, can we go back a slide, please? Thank you. Why is the Biodiesel Magazine's distribution at the Fuel Ethanol Workshop and Expo important? We're seeing more and more ethanol producers interested in converting their distillers' corn oil to biodiesel on site in order to capture that value. And I very soon expect we're going to see a good number of ethanol producers also becoming biodiesel producers. In fact, just yesterday I published a story about Adkins Energy. It's a 50 million gallon a year ethanol plant in Illinois. They're weeks away from starting operations at its 2 million gallon per year biodiesel plant designed by WV Services. And that plant is co-located next to and integrated into its ethanol plant. So this is the first of what we expect to be many more instances of such integration where ethanol producers become multi-fuel producers, and there's a great opportunity for biodiesel project development here. Next slide, please. There we go. We saw this earlier on the inside page, so this is our July-August issue. As we discussed, it's themed around distribution. This is distributed at the Collective Biodiesel Conference, where 250 highly innovative producers, distributors, and grease collectors are continually seeking new and better ways to do business. Next slide, please. There we go. The September-October issue focuses on quality, testing, and standards, topics that are not only of high interest to biodiesel producers, but also their customers, distributors, and retailers. This issue will be distributed at the 2015 Algae Biomass Summit, where 750 attendees will get exposure to our magazine. And in addition to that, it's going to be distributed at the 2015 National Advanced Biofuels Conference and Expo, where 350 people are expected to attend. Finally, our November-December issue is a split theme of plant maintenance and safety and fuel additives. If you follow biodiesel at all, you know there's a great opportunity if you follow biodiesel at all, you know there's a great opportunity through services and products and equipment to enhance the safety record of this industry's operating facilities. Also, fuel additives like antioxidants and cold flow improvers are relied upon heavily to meet performance requirements and customer expectations. An important issue and theme, once again, for the industry here. This issue, the November-December issue, will be distributed at the 2015 Canadian Renewable Fuels Summit, where 350 attendees are expected. So that, in a nutshell, is the 30,000-foot overview of our 2015 editorial calendar. I want to thank you for your attention and your attendance, and I'm going to turn it back over to John.
Thank you, Ron. We'd like to thank today's webinar sponsor, and that's the Biodiesel Industry Directory. And we have on here, get your free listing, and you can go to directory.biodieselmagazine.com and do that. You can receive both an online, every company receives one online listing for free and one free print listing. And so we definitely encourage you to go to the website, register your company, put your contact information in there. It is free, and it gets your name out to basically every event that we go to. It's distributed. All of our major shows, all the shows we go to, we're bringing these with us. Everyone who's part of our circulation receives a copy of it as well. So definitely want to go on and take advantage of that. Our print insertion deadline to do that, to make sure you're in the new print edition, the deadline is November 19th. So you can go on there, put your free listing in. You can also add a logo, or you can purchase some advertising in there. So definitely encourage you to go on and do that. And then we wanted to just mention some of our upcoming events. We have the Ethanol Producer Magazine's 2015 Editorial Outlook webinar coming up October 1st, and that's free. We also have a Rail Moving Forward Risk Management and 111 Tank Cars webinar coming up October 2nd, and I know that's been very popular. A lot of interest in what's happening with rail movement lately. And we also have a Bakken Magazine 2015 Editorial Outlook webinar coming up, and that's October 8th, 2014. And we have the National Advanced Biofuels Conference and Expo, and that's taking place in Minneapolis, October 13th through the 14th. So if you're interested in connecting with biofuels producers, advanced biofuels producers, definitely check out that website, look us up, and take a look at that show. You'll connect with the right people at that event. And then we also have Pellet Mill Magazine's 2015 Editorial Outlook webinar coming up October 30th. So be on the lookout for some communication there. You can also reach out to us, and we'll make sure you get the information that you are requesting. And then finally, exclusive for people who have logged in and are on this webinar today, we want to offer you a special exclusive discount where you can save 35% on one full-page print advertisement. And again, it's only exclusive to people on this webinar, and it's only exclusive to new advertisers, and it does expire January 1st. And if you are interested, please contact us. You can contact Chip or Howard at our office, and they'll be more than happy to talk about advertising, talk about an advertising schedule, both print and online, and see what we can create for you that makes sense in terms of targeting the biodiesel market. And with that, we appreciate you being on.